the wrestling podcast that sets all other podcasts apart. Covering news from the world of WWE, AEW, TNA, and more. Your favorite weekly episodic podcast, Ramblers Unleashed, starts now.
Off the heels of NXT Battleground, it is Ramblers Unleashed. It is your weekly episodic podcast, all on the wonderful world of professional wrestling. Thanks for checking us out tonight. Sorry about the Saturday show that didn't happen, but we are here for you to review this wonderful PLE we just finished up. Hope your weekend's been fantastic, and let's go ahead and introduce these fellers that are on the screen, besides one who is always fashionably late. First off, we start with the man that needs no introduction, the man that is higher than the ratings at AEW and knows what killed WCW, and whose catchphrase is and will always be Baron.
999.
Yes,
Or stay lifted, or you know, many other. I got a lot of other ones.
Right. The steel trap of pro wrestling knowledge. He is the high one. He is the Baron. Golfers clap. Baron, how are you, sir?
Dude, I'm doing good, man. I'm sorry I missed you guys. Missed the show. Was it last weekend?
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah, it was last weekend. Yeah, you were on assignment.
Yeah, I finished that assignment. I don't remember what it truly was. I'm sure I don't remember what the green flower, but I figured it out. I just forgot.
I'll find the assignment because I wrote it down. I'll find the assignment here soon. But I just don't know where I placed it because I write all the assignments down. I do. I have to.
Yeah. Oh, I believe you do. You got an Excel sheet, I'm sure, somewhere, and it's just
I keep track of who's doing what, and if it's for science, if it's for some type of other research, I keep up. So
that guy.
Hey, I know I am. So next up, the producer of our show, the man, the myth, the absolute legend, for without his technical wizardry, his vast wrestling knowledge, and his missus, because she graciously gifts us his time to do this show. And thank God he didn't die tonight, because off air, we know why. This could have been a eulogy very, 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 very quick. The host of Smashed His Podcast and Total Nonstop Impact with the latest TNA reviews on YouTube over any other podcast, which I'm sure he will talk about some of the action on NXT tonight over there. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the great and infamous J-Bone. Golfers clap. J-Bone, how are you, buddy? You are muted, sir. You are muted, sir. You are muted, sir.
God damn.
Let's try this. Let's try this. Golfers clap. J-Bone, how are you, sir?
I'm lovely, guys. I'm lovely. Good. I'm here. I'm excited. Hell of a show.
Oh, hell of a show indeed. Yeah. And when Max comes in, I will definitely give him his introduction too, because he is always fashionably late, which is okay. He's actually catching up on the PLE so that he can come on here and talk about it. So he will be on. Just give us some time. But to kill some time, how's everybody's weekend been, man? We having a good weekend so far?
No comment.
Yeah. J-Bone, no comment from you, bud. It was almost you, my friend.
I could. Oh, I fucking could.
Yeah.
But I'm not that kind of guy. I'm actually somewhat classy in my professional podcast. Jiminy Christmas. No, I'll say
Other than that,
I'll say my son graduated.
Yes, congratulations.
And I'm very proud of Eric, and I love him dearly.
We love you, Eric.
And it was really cool. It was at AmFam Park, which I haven't been at AmFam Park in like 20 years. Mm-hmm. So that was wild being there. Everything up on the big ass screen, and so you don't miss nothing. Earlier in the day, picked up my lovely wife and our daughter Cassie. They were in Boston.
So
you see
and you got a souvenir. You got a couple souvenirs that you're wearing tonight.
Yes, yeah, I had to show those off, and our daughter-in-law goes to Harvard, so we got a Harvard hat and a Cheers T-shirt. Yes,
yeah, Cheers. What a great show that was, man.
It was. I miss it.
Yeah. So you had a good weekend, Baron. How's your weekend been, buddy?
Good, man. Good, dude. Enjoying the weather and just getting stuff done around the house. And speaking of shows, I started this one up, and I only have like a few days left. I think it has like 20 days left on the Peacock. You ever heard of Sliders? Anybody ever heard of Sliders?
No, I have not.
It's got like Jerry O'Connell in it. It's from early 90s. It's a sci-fi show that they go back in a wormhole and a parallel universe. Dude, it's classic.
I think I have. No, I think I have heard of that.
Yeah, it was pretty popular for a certain part of time, and then it just kind of, like one of those shows in the 90s that just disappears. But man, it was good. Loved it.
Yeah. That I remember that show. I never watched it. I never dove into it deep, but I did. I did hear about it. But so far, your weekend's been pretty chill, pretty relaxed, man.
Oh yeah, man. I'm always chilling.
Yeah, for sure. You went out to eat, I hear. You went to
dude, Outback killer. Doesn't get better. I love Outback. Absolutely love it.
Which, by the way, Outback, if you like to sponsor us, you know how to get a hold of us. I'll tell you what, though. Culvers, if you are listening to this, you definitely need to sponsor this show because I'm about to give you guys some major props and praise. I went to Culver's tonight to get just a quick bite to eat, and I got a fish sandwich, which was their fish sandwich is just out of this world. Everything that you get on the menu at Culver's is it's not really fast food to me. Yes, it's in a fast food like environment, but the food that you get, I don't feel is like fast food. I feel it's really, really high quality. And so I got the fish sandwich, and then I saw on this this little sign where they have like a shaved ice type of drink, and also just you can get in a cup and just eat it. I got the watermelon cooler. Oh my God, that was fucking phenomenal. Just absolutely phenomenal. So if I'm telling you, man, if
we're eating good this weekend, folks, we're eating good out here.
Are definitely eating good in the neighborhood. It's I'm always a big fan of food and things like that, but damn, Culver's just knocked it out of the park with that one. So props to you on that, Culver's. That was delicious. Anyway, yeah.
I got a picture to show off here. Hang on a second. You can continue for a second while I upload this.
Yeah, so we'll get into the PLE here in just a moment. We're kind of trying to kill some time so that we can get Max in here and he can join us. But we hope you're having a good weekend too. And by the way, let's just go ahead and plug everything real quick. If you haven't noticed, we do have a shop link down in the you can find it in the description of this live video. And you can support us. You can buy some Ramblers Unleashed merchandise, hats, T-shirts. I think we have hoodies. We have a ton of stuff on the shop. So,
mouse pads, all sorts of stuff.
You know it. So link is in the description below of the of this video and every other video that we have on our channel. And if you enjoy what you see, if you love us, if you like us, whatever the case may be, feel free to look around on the shop and buy some merch, man. It doesn't cost that much, man. I mean, it's and plus it's high quality. J-Bone, you've used this company for a long time, and it's just super high quality. Everything that you get, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, Max has a hat. Ramblers Unleashed hat that he's worn on this show a few times. So make sure, again, if you haven't found the link, it's in the description below this video. Also, follow the show on social media at the Ramblers Pod on X. You can find us on Facebook, Ramblers Unleashed. And just support the channel, man. Subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications for when we go live, and tell your friends about this show too. Because we're always trying to grow, expand the channel. So tell your friends if they're wrestling fans or if they're just fans of people who like to just get together and talk shit. We're here for that. So definitely let your friends know that we are here, and we're ready to talk some wrestling.
We are the Ramblers after all. We do like to talk shit. We do like to ramble. There's been a few 3-hour podcasts we've done in the past. They spiral out of control, and that's the beauty of it.
Sometimes they do, man, and that's the cool thing about this show is that each one of us are just so passionate about this sport, this art, and we all want to see it get better, and we all have our different points of views. It's kind of like politics, everybody's got an opinion about politics. We definitely have our opinions about professional wrestling, which we only talk professional wrestling. We don't talk politics on this show. But
hell no. We'll talk about like wrestling politics,
yes,
speech politics and stuff like that, but that's it.
Yeah, that's about all you'll hear as far as politics go. But yeah, thanks for go ahead, J-Bone.
Oh, I was just gonna say I got a cool picture here. I just want to share this with everyone. I just saw this online on Facebook.
Yeah.
This is from the show tonight. That's Jonathan Gresham on the left.
Yep.
And that's Gail Kim from TNA.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these are all from TNA. But Gail Kim, she's head of the Knockouts. And Ariel Scherner. I probably botched his last name, so I apologize. But he's a backstage on the road guy. And then the new president of TNA, gracing the audience here, Anthony Ciccione.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that there were some TNA management in the either backstage or in the crowd tonight to watch the show. And this is so cool, dude. This is so cool that they are that WWE and TNA are doing this partnership, if you will, because there's so much talent on both of these rosters, and I think they match up very, very nicely with each other because let's face it, NXT is developmental. This is why this brand exists. It's all developmental. This was kind of I believe the replacement for Ohio Valley Wrestling. And it's really neat that NXT and TNA are teaming together and doing this. And yes, Courtney, we do ramble quite a bit. So that's our name, baby. It is really, really cool to see this. So I'm very happy about this partnership and looking forward to more run-ins. And it was really cool to see all the run-ins tonight from backstage, which we'll dive into it here in just a few moments. But
here's a really good question. I really want to get J-Bone's take on it. Like, what in the hell? Well, yeah, because you're the TNA guy here. I mean, like I watched TNA for ages. I stopped and I get back in it every now and then. But like once Hulk Hogan came in and ruined the 6-sided ring, guy said, this is ridiculous. But TNA was X Division was everything. But like, why now? What has taken so long for like a partnership? What is like their end goal with this partnership?
I don't know. This is all as far as like behind the scenes stuff. Like TNA is going through a lot of changes right now. So, a lot of it's hush hush. My sources, I've heard a couple of things, but nothing real. Like, how do I say this? Nothing real. Like, oh, this is what's happening in the future. All I've heard is like, we got personnel changes, and they're just, they're beefing up the writing team. That's all I've heard. And that's any company. That happens to any company. As far as this partnership, This is all just everyone's just speculating the hell out of it right now, all the way up to, you know, some idiot called Meltzer talking about WWE buying TNA. It's like, bro, come on.
Well, Meltzer's really? Never wrong, though. Could he be wrong?
The company is 20 years old. It's the second longest running wrestling company in the last we'll just say, like, you know, 30 plus years.
Yeah.
And that's a fact. You know, it beat out ECW, it beat out WCW. And it's like, it's always been the little engine that could, and no one gives it any, you know, fucking respect. And it's just stupid at this point because the talent is there. And I'm so happy. Like, yeah, I'm sure there's people that don't like this. Like, oh, why are they going on WWE? What's up with that? You know, it's just stupid. Eat my, you know, corn chips and my bean dip. Okay.
Yeah. Tell him, J-Bone.
But well, no, it's showcasing talent that's international. That should be recognized more. And it's just like, look, TNA, hardcore TNA fans like myself are like, it's about damn time there's some more, we get some more eyes on this. And speaking of more eyes, let's add some more eyes to the show.
Eyes in. Yeah. Before we introduce you, sir, which, by the way, welcome to the show. We're talking about TNA teaming up with the NXT, and Baron asked a question to J-Bone, what took so long? And my question is to J-Bone, do you think this is what Scott would have wanted before his departure from TNA?
Honestly, I don't know. That's so hard to say. I know he was working hard on stuff, but
I'd like to believe in Scott and that this is something he would have wanted. At the end of the day, I can only believe in Joe Hendry, though. So unfortunately, I'm not sure.
Oh, and with that, let's introduce the neighborhood heel, the heel that is always getting over with the crowd no matter what. After a long trip back to Colorado from Texas, as he is singing that old Kenny Loggins song, Celebrate Me Home. You may address him as Max Magus, but we call him the mighty Maximus Magus. Golfers clap. Max, I'm glad you had a safe trip back from Texas to Colorado, and it was quite the experience. Tell us about it.
I listened. The drive wasn't quite terrible. Having that much weight in the car, and I'm not talking about all my stuff, was a little rough. I stopped at one point to put air in my tires before getting on the road, and I happened to notice that my car has a weight limit. And I don't know if I told you guys about my health problems from late last year. And part of that, I stepped into one of my doctor's appointments in January and weighed in at 410 pounds. It's not easy to lose the weight when you got a bulging disc, you got a bum knee, and nothing seems to just shave the weight off no matter how hard you try. But I will tell you, when you look at the weight limit on a car and realize you're almost half of the weight limit, and then you got all your stuff that's moving back to Colorado with you in the car, that's a little nerve-wracking. The weight limit on my car is 850 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
So,
wow.
But that being said, I am glad to be back in Denver. I had a rough week. We said goodbye to my stepmother this week, for those of you out there that did not know. But today, I watched the PLE. I got some stuff done, and the rest of the household that I haven't seen since I've been home in Colorado, they get home tonight. Their flight lands probably in the next 10, 15, 20 minutes. So once we're done here, I got 2 more boxes to get out of the way in the kitchen, and then I get to see them for the first time in a year and a half.
Awesome, man. And you drove, so yeah, that's awesome, bro. You were telling us in the chat on your way back from Texas to Colorado. You went through a town that smelled really, really, really unpleasant.
Listen, if there is anybody in the viewers that has ever been to Greeley, Colorado, you know Greeley, Colorado smells like manure, and that is not an exaggeration. Greeley is a farming town. There's other stuff there. There's schools up there. One of the big colleges is up in Greeley, but that was nothing compared to what I smelled in one of those small towns I passed through in Texas. They need to rename the name of that town to the Drizzling Shits because that's what it smelled like. Fix your shit.
Woo!
And whatever you guys are eating in that town, you might want to change your damn diet, all right? Yeah.
Damn.
Thank you for the update.
Damn.
I'm glad you made it home safe. That's the key thing.
Can you see what's behind me? I walked into this. No, the dry erase board.
The dry erase board. Hey, welcome home. That's awesome, man.
That's cool.
That's awesome. I don't know who Jerry is, but welcome home, Max.
Right.
Yes.
So where are we? We're talking. Does this open door thing with Scott tomorrow? Okay. While we're on that subject, I do have a thought that I want to share. I think that if you wanted to have this relationship strengthen and become a bigger thing in the future, one of the two people that wrestled from TNA tonight probably should have won the match. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I was going to mention that when we go down the card, but I totally agree. Like, I feel like, yeah, we'll dive into it.
Yeah, let's dive into it. Let's do that. Let's start off with the 6-women WWE NXT Women's North American Championship ladder match between Sol Ruca versus Metaphor's Lash Legend, Fallon Henley, OTM's Jaida Parker, the OC's Michin, and Kalina Michin. Thank you. And Kelani Jordynne. Match starts. Yes, I said that right? Correct.
You started to say it wrong, and I was in the process of saying it when you got it right.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Listen, I'm here to help. Okay, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm really trying to help. I promise.
You are the helping hand. I appreciate it. The match starts off with Legend hitting a series of backbreakers on Jordynne. And then Michin sends Parker flying off the commentary desk after a gut shot with a ladder. You know, I feel the commentary desk got a lot of action tonight during this PLE.
Oh, Booker, of course, he was in heaven at this point, man.
Booker was, I don't know, did anybody else think that? Because I think it was during this match they hit the commentary table and Booker was leaning up against the guardrail and he looked like he was frail almost.
I think he got hit. I think he got hit.
He got hit at one point. I know because Vic kept going, I told you to move out of the way. I told you weren't in a safe place, but you didn't listen.
Yeah, he definitely got hit.
It was definitely during the you're talking about the ladder match, right?
Yeah.
And I can't think of her name. There's so many new lady faces in the women's division. It was just
I'm going back to my notes here. Ruca and Jordynne then drop kick a ladder into Henley. Oh, it was Michin who sent Parker flying out of the onto the commentary desk after a gut shot with the ladder. So Ruca and Jordynne. Yeah, Ruca and Jordynne then drop kick a ladder into Henley. Jordynne hits a corkscrew splash outside the ring. Ruca does a moonsault off the ring post, and Henley boots Ruca in the face. Legend lays out on the field with ladder shots, and one of those shots, man, that looked like it had to hurt. She hit her, I don't know who it was, but she hit her like the back, like her middle back or her lower back on the side of that ladder, and I can't remember who it was because it was just it was just so chaotic. But
yeah, those ladder matches could not feel good at all, man.
Ladder matches are rough.
let me ask you guys something. You ever been hit with a ladder? You ever run into a ladder? I have been in enough shows. Huh?
Yeah. I can't say that I have.
I have been in enough shows where ladders are going to be involved at some point in the night. I've been involved in matches where the ladders were there. I've only had one match where we were in the match and a ladder got used though. Knock on wood. I got pretty lucky on that. But I will tell you, it wasn't originally planned for Rowdy and Ryzen to use the ladders. Ryzen just thought it was a good idea because there they were. And I will tell you, I collided with one of those ladders at one point, and I barely collided with it. It wasn't a brush, but I mean, I ran into it lightly. I can't imagine working a full match where you're getting thrown on ladders, you're getting thrown into ladders, you're getting dropped off of ladders because that little brush sent a shockwave of pain. That ladders are very painful. Don't underestimate the people that do this. And I want to give a shout out to the WWE because they put that trust in those women and they made one hell of a match out of it. So thank you to WWE and your 6 women that took on the ladders tonight.
Yeah.
Hell
absolutely.
yeah. I mean, I was definitely impressed. I mean, this is just one of many examples tonight. If you're not watching NXT on a regular basis, you absolutely should. One side note, I just want to say regarding ladders, I dropped one on my foot once. Does that count?
How well did you feel through the shoe?
No, it was just like in my backyard.
Right. Was your shoe on or off?
Well, it was one of those little ladders that came off like a Tonka truck. You know.
Oh. I don't think so. I don't think
does
so.
It count? Okay.
Yeah, J-Bone, that counts, man. I feel so bad for your foot. Poor guy.
Well, look at that. There's a dose of reality. Thank you, Barry.
Yeah, man. I'm here to, for that.
Yeah, but this guy's rooting for this to end quick because he did something he shouldn't have right before the show, and he knows it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just, thinking way back, you mentioned ladders, and I just instantly go to my sandbox, in my.
Did J-Bo take an edible while I wasn't here?
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know. J-Bone, are you
He wouldn't remember if he did.
He can't remember. Look at him.
Right. Oh my!
Use under adult supervision.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what this podcast is. We can only do it under adult supervision. Why do you think the Baron's here every week?
You know it's bad when I'm the normal one in the bunch.
Wait a minute.
You know it's really bad then.
Never mind.
Yeah.
All right. I told you guys before the show that I had a comment about Tiffy time and that it is relevant to Battleground, and so that you know it is relevant to this particular match. Okay. While Tiffy time will always hold a high place in my heart, and Tiffy will always, always be way up the list of my favorite people. Tonight, I have a new favorite. Okay. And that's because that move, holy shit, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite as impressive. Soul hit that Soul Crusher or whatever it was, back to back. Holy hell, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was a hell of a move.
What is it called?
Soul Snatcher.
Soul Snatcher.
Soul Snatcher.
Ruca hits Parker with the Soul Snatcher, and then she leaped off the ladder and hit the Soul Snatcher on Henley. Jordynne nails Michin with a split leg moonsault on a ladder. Jordynne climbs up to the top and pulls down the title for the win. And the winner of the first ever WWE NXT Women's North American Champion, Kelani, Jordynne. That was, that was a killer match, dude. It really was. And then,
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it really was. It really set the tone. It set the mood of the night. So it was, I thoroughly enjoyed it. What would you guys rate the match of 5 stars out of 5 stars? Yeah,
I'll go. Yeah, I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was a solid, good match. So this is going to be my complaint throughout the show, and correct me if you have a good reason why it was the way it was. Please tell me why. But I felt like this crowd was just a bit off. I don't know if it was because of the audience. It was just, especially this match, it seemed very quiet, but you heard a chance. Maybe the audio was off. But I don't know. It just felt weird. I've never seen a wrestling WWE show or even NXT show with that few people.
Where I want to know how big the arena was that they were
it's
in.
very small, obviously.
How many people that's why. I mean, that's why. That could be one of the reasons why it was so quiet,
it just felt a little off, especially during this match. I don't know if it was audio or whatnot. I think it got better throughout the night.
And the thing is, if you look at Full Sail, it does seem like it's a small audience too, but they still managed to make some noise. I think the difference is, I don't think you had your typical WWE crowd or NXT crowd at this show. Yeah. I think you had first off, there were a lot of celebrities taking up spots in there.
Yeah.
Because I can't tell you how many, I'm not used to them stopping that many times in that small of arena to go, look who's joined us, look who's joined us, look who's joined us. But the other thing you got to keep in mind is it's a UFC arena, so you probably had a bunch of UFC fans filling the seats as opposed to regular WWE fans.
Right. Yep, that's true. That's true. So I think it was a different show, but I wouldn't put they did get louder during
I feel like they got a little bit louder through the match. It's just very weird for this match because I feel like this was probably
this match was hot. And I'm not just talking about the women that were in it.
Yeah, they were on fire. I mean, this was a really good match. Max, what would you rate it? 5 stars.
I told you guys before that I put a lot of different factors into what my rating comes out. So you have the wherewithal of 5 of the 6 women to know that they needed to take out Lash Legend if they were going to stand a chance. So you had all 5 of them throwing her out of the ring onto that ladder. They were standing there looking down at her, and then they turned on each other. That goes into my factoring. The fact that, as was just pointed out, 5 of these women went into the match with no ladder match experience and still put on that good of a show. That goes into the fact that Kelani was able to get up there and win. And actually, she was my number 2. I wanted Soul to win, and the second one was Kelani was my second choice. They put on one hell of a match. They told one hell of a story. I'm giving this 5 out of 5 because, god damn, that was well done.
And let me just point something out, too. Max does not give 5 out of 5 unless it's deserved and earned. So for him to give this match 5 stars out of 5, that's saying quite a bit. Quite a bit.
It did.
That's not a 5-star. That's a Max Majors 5-star.
Oh, definitely. Big time.
It did help a little bit that they managed to clip Booker at one point. I thought that was totally worth some extra points.
That was the shucky ducky quack quack bullshit moment of the night.
I really like Booker's totally different than any other commentator in any wrestling promotion, but I dig it, if you know what I'm saying. But I feel like I feel like he does pretty good.
We're coming for you, Hulk Hogan.
Oh no.
Listen, we're gonna talk about Booker some more here soon. Don't you worry.
I am glad that his headset was cut off for half of the main event.
That was amazing.
I know. J-Bone, what would you rate this match out of 5 stars, brother?
Oh, 5 stars. I was blown away. I just the talent, these are rookies. Okay. With the exception of Miyam. Miyam's been around for a long time. She is the veteran of the group. She's the one that's got the ladder match experience. And just all these women killed it. If you would have told me that this is their first ladder match, I'd have been like, what? Especially someone like Max, you mentioned Soul. And what I learned tonight, you learn something new every day, folks. The Soul Snatcher, that move, it was I'd never seen it. Look, I've seen a lot of freaking wrestling throughout the years, and it's about the most phenomenal, unique move that I've seen, though used by many now, like the oh crap, what is that? Canadian Destroyer, called 20 different names, but it's it's Petey Williams' move, in my opinion.
Don't get me started on that move, by the way. Ooh.
But it's like a modified version of that almost. It just or like with if a Canadian Destroyer had sex with a stunner,
Okay. To me, the big difference is the only one doing that initial flip is Soul to deliver the move. That's what makes the Canadian Destroyer so dangerous. You have to line up two of you at the right angle so that nobody gets hurt. Whereas with her move, all she has to do is get herself into position to avoid hurting anybody. And like I said, we can break down my problems with the Canadian Destroyer on another episode. Not tonight.
Yeah. Baron, I don't know if did you give your rating?
Oh yeah, I started out. I give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Okay, yeah. I'll go with a 4.5 out of 5. It was a fire match, man. Really fire match, and it's hard.
Match, good opener, and like this is they have a they have a really good roster of women over there. NXT.
Yeah. Listen,
props.
Rowdy once told me that the quality of a match can be determined if you can shut commentary off and still enjoy the match without losing your place in the match. This match, because I was tuning Booker out the whole time, and I don't even really care about Vix. I tuned him out for the most part during this match. This match was phenomenal. That's how it got to 5 stars without without any kind of consideration for me. I didn't need those two to tell me the story in this match, and I haven't even been following NXT to have known it going in.
Yeah.
Booker was insane tonight. I don't know how many times he probably had to take a shot every time. New drinking game. Every time Booker screamed, "What the hell?" during this match. It was
Booker was on. He was on one tonight. I missed.
He was on another level.
I missed the pre-show. Did he do his little? I hate this shucky ducky quack quack. Okay, I hate that. Did he do that?
I mostly fast forwarded through the pre-show and didn't even see him.
I'll think
Sam. No, it was that was done at like WWE Studio.
Okay,
that was Sam Roberts and what's her name?
Some blonde lady.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kathy Kelly, is that what her name is?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. We'll go with that.
It's someone. If it's someone that's been there, I didn't recognize her. I think she got a haircut, but I don't know who that was. But anyways, yeah, great to see Sam Roberts. One compliment he gave Sol Ruca, and then we can move on. Sol Ruca, Sol Ruca just climbing into bed has more athleticism than anything that Sam Roberts could do, and he said that about himself. So that's not me cutting on him. He said that while talking about So I thought that was hilarious.
There's actually a reason for that. I don't know if you guys saw her Instagram video from prior to, because they showed it on the pre-show. And she's sitting there, she's doing flips into her bed in Vegas. And then she set up one last one and said, I got one more. Hopefully I don't kick the ceiling. She did a backflip onto the bed and then ended it with jumping in the air, but landing under the sheets with the sheets on top of her. She just grabbed them and pulled them up as part of that final flip. So, yeah, more athleticism getting in the bed than Sam Roberts does. That goes without saying.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Let's move on to the next match, which was the NXT Tag Team Championship match, the Supersonic Duo, Nathan Frazer and Axiom versus the OC, Luke Gallows and Karl Anderson. Very good to see those two on NXT too. Match starts off with Axiom and Anderson. Anderson hits a really, there were a lot of hard chops in this match, honestly, but Axiom nails him with a drop kick and tags in Frazer. Axiom then locks in an octopus on Anderson, and Frazer runs the ropes to gain some momentum and hits him with a leg drop, which was really, really cool. Axiom tags and double teams Anderson with Frazer and hits him with a chop on Anderson in the corner. And it was really, honestly, it was just kind of a back and forth night between tagging and chopping and just really, really cool moves. Gallows locked in an arm submission on Axiom. Axiom escaped. Gallows hit him with an open palm strike, which was fucking loud, really fucking loud. And then Axiom responds with a DDT. I mean, it made me cringe. It was like a Ric Flair chop. It really was. But at the end, closing to the end of the match, Frazer looks to fly, but Anderson moves out of the way and hits a cutter on Frazer. Gallo then tags and hits splash on Frazer in the corner and nails Frazer with Anderson. Gallows then follows it up with a sit-out powerbomb and goes for the finish, but Axiom breaks the fall. And I mean, this was a really, really good athletic match, and the winner was the WWE NXT Tag Team Champion Supersonic Duo Nathan Frazer and Axiom. Did you guys enjoy this match? I know, who was it? Baron, are you not a fan of Gallows and Anderson, man?
I mean, they're not my go-to tag teams. I apologize to all the Good Brother fans out there, but they're not my go-to. But I will tell you, this was a great match. I thought it was really good, just standard tag team match. I must have missed this whole transition over to NXT, and I'm not sure when the hell that happened. I thought I just saw them with AJ Styles somewhere. I don't know what
they did go. Yeah, they were on SmackDown when AJ was giving his
right? Yeah.
fake retirement.
Yeah. Mark Henry retire.
Yeah.
They've kind of been doing both because they appeared a few weeks ago on SmackDown. Them and Michin asked AJ if they were good, and he's like, "What do you think?" and stormed away. So they've been appearing. They're just not doing anything on the main roster except showing up backstage.
Yeah, they need something. I mean, because I really did forget about them. But solid match. I was more surprised with the oh fuck, you know who I'm talking about, Frazer and
Axiom.
There we go. I thought they were really good.
Yeah. Max, what did you think, man?
Listen, this was a decent match. I really wish they would do more with the Good Brothers. I think these guys have proven themselves to be more than Festus and whatever Karl Anderson was before he became a Good Brother. I feel like these guys actually deserve to get some TV time and some good TV time at that. Overall, I'm not sure I'd call this one of the best matches of the night, but it was good. It was damn good.
Yeah. J-Bone.
For those of you who know me out there, you know I love some tag team wrestling. This was a really good match. I didn't expect much from this. I mean, I love the Good Brothers. I've met them a few times. Had the total pleasure of interviewing them over on TNI a couple of years ago when they were in TNA. So I got stock in these guys. I appreciate them for whatever they do, you know, even if they're not at the top of the charts or whatever. So yeah, two totally different styles of wrestling here. You got almost like a lucha libre technical side of Axiom and the hell's his name? Frazer, thank you.
Yeah.
I just got to think of the show, Frazer. Even though they don't look anything alike. But yeah, I dug this match. It was good seeing the Good Brothers out there. But let me tell you, the most, and I go back to this even more now than I had in years past, to be able to tell a story and convince the audience that the Good Brothers are actually going to take this, you know, because, you know, doing finishers, no one kicks out of those finishers. No one kicks out of those finishers. And these kids did. So it was like, oh, holy, the match is not over yet. You know, it's like you keep fooling old Bone, I guess, you know.
Yeah. I've been a fan of the Good Brothers. I've been a fan of Gallows and Anderson for a long time. when they were in TNA, and then when they made their way over to WWE. Even their time in New Japan, I tried to watch them as much as I could from New Japan. I've been a big fan of them. I don't know. It's just something about, I don't know, man. It's just something about the Good Brothers, and I love the fact that they do the Too Sweet. I just love it. This was a really good match. I enjoyed this match. Baron, what would you give this match out of 5 stars?
Like a little 3.25, 3.25,
3.25.
I don't know how to rate out of 5. I always feel weird because I feel like there's so many things go into consideration with a 5, so you got to get some points in there. So yeah, 3.25.
Okay,
good match, good solid tag team match, and I was really happy with what the Good Brothers did in that match because it's been a while since I have seen them and appreciate them a little bit more, and then I learned some newcomers too. So
yeah, absolutely. J-Bone, what would you give it out of 5?
I'd give it a 3. I mean, okay. I part of me wants to give it more, but I haven't seen Frazer and Axiom wrestle more than what I saw them tonight. I've seen them do, solo matches, whatever, individual matches against other people. I've been a fan of Frazer for a long time. Can't think of his indie name, and that pisses me off, but we'll just blame it on other things tonight. Y'all know. But yeah, these kids are great. I dug the match.
Yeah, I'll give it 3.5. 3.5 stars. Max, what would you give it, brother?
All right. There's going to be 2 numbers thrown out at you here in a second. Understand, one of them is just the match. The other one is the match because it's plus the funny thing that happened on commentary. Overall, I'm going to give this match a 3.5. However, I am awarding an additional 0.25. So overall, 3.75 because of the fact that Vic asked Booker T a question, and Booker said, I don't know much about the tag team world. I focused on solo wrestling. Hello? Harlem Heat much?
Oh, yeah. I was like, I heard him say that. I'm like, yo, what is Book smoking, bro?
You had to bury your brother there, Booker. Jesus.
Somebody didn't show up for Easter. Damn.
Yes. Oh, my. We come up for you. Oh my goodness. All right, let's move on to the next match. It's Shayna Baszler and Lola Vice in an underground match. I fucking dug this, dude. This was so freaking, it was different, man, because they removed the ropes from the ring. I've never seen that done. Well, wait, didn't back in the day, didn't they have like a sumo wrestling match in WWF?
Yes, it was Big Show versus Yokozuna, if I remember correctly.
So that is like one of the only.
No, it wouldn't have been Big Show and Yoko.
Hold on, no, it was 2 different. There were 2 matches. Big Show did do a sumo match, and Yokozuna did a sumo match.
Oh, not versus each other though.
Right. I put the 2 together, but no, they did. They had their own separate sumo matches. My fault for saying that they faced off against each other. My bad.
No, I was like, whoa, wait.
But when in the hell did they start this underground thing? Was this you remember? Fuck, man, I don't remember. I thought it was like on Raw or SmackDown. Maybe it was NXT, but they would have looked like a Fight Club. You remember they did that?
Yeah.
Was that the underground?
This was basically a better version of that. Okay. Because that first one was straight garbage.
Yeah, that was
thank you, Shane O'Mac, for the garbage.
Thunderdome.
I enjoyed it. It's just the only thing I didn't like. I mean, because I feel once you take the ropes off, it's no longer a wrestling match. It becomes more of a, like a fight kind of in a sense.
Well, that's what they were going for.
Well, that's what it is. Yeah, I mean that's.
Yeah, but it felt like a wrestling match.
And
without ropes
because it went everywhere.
Yeah, and I feel like they should have. It's a cool concept, but I need a little bit more of realness out of this.
I think that's the beauty of it, though. I think they were just trying to appease the UFC people, and then B, they were, definitely trying to incorporate the wrestling elements in it too. Just so we're all caught up, the two sumo matches that we were talking about. One was the Big Show versus Akebono. Is that his name?
Yes.
At WrestleMania. Yeah, and then the first one, I guess it would have been Yokozuna and Earthquake battled in a match in WWE.
I actually think I want to
see like there
that.
had even another one.
And those matches,
I feel like there was another one
down on Google, but that there could have been another one that we totally forgot about. I know that they've changed the ropes when they had the boxing matches with Butterbean and all that, but they did remove the ropes with a Big Show and Yokozuna, and with this match too. So that's 3 that I've counted so far.
You guys don't want to do an ECW review? We should go back and do a review of that, the Butterbean contest.
Yeah, no, let's not. Hey, I sent you the 1989 Guilty as Charged pay-per-view. You guys have at it. So the match starts out with Baszler taking Vice down and hitting it with a flurry of punches, and then Vice rolls out of the ring. Baszler then beats Vice outside of the ring. Baszler hits Vice with the German suplex, and Baszler puts Vice in an ankle lock, sending Vice sends Baszler back into the ring post to break the hold. And honestly, this was just kind of an everywhere match, even the people outside the ring. I don't know, was that like a lumberjack match type of thing that they were doing? I've never seen that where all the people were dressed in black, all the wrestlers were dressed in black, and
they did that on that little thing Shane McMahon came up with. I remember they had a bunch of kind of like a very similar to a lumberjack style match. Which, my God, what has happened to that? Bring that back.
I know.
Yeah. No. So what it kind of is, if I understand this correctly, and this is without looking it up, an underground fight typically has other competitors or other fighters, whatever, surrounding the people that are actually fighting, because they're probably going to get their turn. If you did a whole card of underground, you'd see multiple people from that circle around the ring getting in there to fight one of the other people in the circle. I think that's what they're trying to embody with this. And I don't know, the lighting was weird to me overall. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, the lighting was really weird. It was just way too dark. They were just only using the spotlight on the two, on Baszler and Vice, especially like when they went to the entrance. It was just, I don't know. It was just really weird.
I did dig Shayna's ring gear though.
I did too. I dug it, man. I dug this match. I liked it.
Somebody bled all over her left leg.
Yeah.
No, that's what it looks like, J-Bone.
All right. Anyway, the winner of this match, it was Vice. It was Lola Vice, because the referee stopped the match. And here's what happened. Baszler was she missed a running knee from Vice. Vice then hits a spinning back fist, which was really fucking awesome, and it really looked painful. Baszler then heads out of the ring. She's limping. She beats up the security guards and puts Vice in a triangle. Vice then fights out of it and kicks Baszler into the ring steps. Vice hits another spinning back fist on Baszler, and then she hits the hammer fist on her. The referee stopped the match. It was a good. I enjoyed this match. I really thought that those two were just literally beating each other up, which was really enjoyable. What did you guys think of it? Did you enjoy it, Baron? What would you?
I I did not really truly enjoy it. I was kind of confused on the stipulation. I was kind of confused on what they were going for. It threw me off watching it. Did they beat the hell out of each other? Yes, absolutely. That was great. But I feel like it either needs to be a wrestling match or a UFC match, one of the two. Don't blend those two in together because I felt like it got sloppy because it was just the finish was a knockout, which come on, it was what I'm saying, like
right,
make it a little bit more realistic, I guess. So I was very confused on that part. Put the ropes back on. The lighting threw the match off as well. I'd give it a solid 2 out of 5.
Okay. All right. Max, go ahead.
There was one point that really confused the hell out of me. I mean, Shayna starts attacking the people at ringside, and then her and Lola start fighting again, and then she tripped over one of the people she laid out and knocked herself out on the steps. That was weird.
I feel it was very unorganized. I feel like they had a plan to go out and do this match, and I think it was just kind of thrown together really fast.
Well, they're wrestlers, so there wasn't a wrestling.
Well, they both have. I think they both. Well, yeah, but I think they both have UFC backgrounds, so it made sense for those two to go and do this match. But like I said, I think for a wrestling event, I think it was thrown together very, very quickly. I don't think it was talked about or drawn up, if you will, as much as it should have been, because I think it had potential to be a really killer match. I enjoyed it because of the intensity, but Max, go ahead.
I feel like this was a requested match. I feel like the UFC side of things said, "Hey, we're gonna do your NXT in our arena, but we have a request. We want to see these two face off against each other in a tap or nap match," and it ended the way it should have, because Shayna's going for the women's tag titles on the main roster, and so Lola needs to be the one to come out on top in this. That being said, I'm giving this very generously 2.5 stars.
Yeah. Like I said, I think that they were just trying to appease the UFC folks, and I think that this was very quickly thrown together. I don't think that much thought was given into this. I think they just said, "Hey, go out and have fun."
I think it's hard to lead a match, a fight. You know what I'm saying? I think it's hard to put together a fight. A fight is fight,
Right. Yeah. A fight is not predetermined. A fight is, who's going to kick whose ass worse. And this was just, I think they stopped it at a very good point, because I think it would have gotten a lot worse if they didn't. So J-Bone, what would you rate this, bro?
Yeah, I gotta just quick agree with you that they stopped it where they did, because there was a lot of unexpected stuff as far as like the people around the side of the ring actually getting attacked by Shayna Baszler. It's like it's one thing for it to spill over, but then when she just started like beating the crap out of everyone, I'm like that's when it was like, okay, this is this is not a UFC match. It's like, yeah.
Right.
I dug it. I don't watch UFC. I used to back when Lesnar, and there was a different viewing audience back then, 15 years ago, whatever the hell it was. I give it 3. I give it 3 stars.
Yeah, I mean, I used to watch
the action was sick. It just, like you said, it felt kind of weird.
Wishy-washy. Yeah. I mean, I used to watch UFC back in the day when like Chuck Liddell was in there when he was fighting Brock Lesnar, just a bunch of other UFC fighters that I used to watch and enjoy. But do I watch it much anymore? No. I tried to watch the last UFC fight that was on pay-per-view, but I just couldn't get into it, man. I don't know. I just couldn't get into it. Not because it's not my cup of tea. It totally is, but I don't know. I just wasn't captivated, I guess, or captivated, or whatever you want to say. with it. So I'll give this match probably 3 stars, 2.5, 3 stars, somewhere around there.
There is a number in between those two.
I mean, there is. Yeah. I mean, there is.
There's lots of numbers.
Let's move on to the North American Championship triple threat match between Oba Femi, Wes Lee, and Joe Coffey. Now, I have to say this because I told you 3 gentlemen, but I think somebody needs to get Jim Johnston on the phone so we can start up another WWE music volume, and it needs to be called Oba with an oboe. You got to. You got to. Jim Johnston, if you're listening, dude, I'm telling you, Oba with an oboe, come on. It works. It works.
Well, I don't think we even really know as an audience how musically talented Oba is.
Yeah. He's killer with that oboe. I heard he was gonna go on tour with Metallica, but instead he stayed with NXT. So
everyone has their own path.
Everybody does. Yes. Yeah. The match starts off with Lee and Coffey double teaming Femi, sending him out of the ring. Lee hits a flurry of offense on Coffey. Femi then gets to his feet. Lee takes Femi down with a dive. Lee gets the final flash on Coffey, and Femi breaks up the pin. Femi then suplexes Coffey and Lee at the same time, which was freaking awesome. And J-Bone, you compared the size of Oba Femi to you said originally Bill Goldberg, and I said, please, for the love of God, don't compare anybody to Bill Goldberg.
That's okay. How about Lesnar? Because as far as mass, it's closer to Lesnar.
The size of Lesnar. Okay, I'll give you that one. But for the love of fuck, don't leave Bill Goldberg out of your mouth when you're doing comparisons.
I'm sorry. I love Goldberg. I always have. I always will.
Gilbert.
Gilbert was actually about a few blocks from my house about a month ago down the block.
Was
Gilbert.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I wasn't able to go to the show, but that's David Hero's joint that goes around here in the neighboring town, and we're like right on the border of Grafton and Cedarburg. So if I got to go to Cedarburg, it's literally out the driveway, up the block, and hang a left. Hey, Cedarburg.
Here we are. Long trip. Well, that's cool. I'm glad Gilbert is still on the circuit.
I think it was just appearances, Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's wrestling.
God, I'd hope not. Later on in the match, Femi works over Joe Coffey on the outside of the ring. Wolfgang and Mark Coffey, make their way down to the ring. They attack Femi, and somehow Kevin Nash tore a quad. Joe Coffey then hits a double jump moonsault on Lee, followed by his running headbutt. Lee kicks out. Femi goes to his feet and destroys Wolfgang and Mark Coffey, which was kind of cool. Femi gets back in the ring. Lee sends Femi back outside and gets a couple of hits with double knees on Joe. Lee follows it up with a cardiac kick on Joe and goes for a pin. Mark pulls a referee out of the ring. The referee is arguing with Mark and Wolfpack. I really thought the ref was going to send him backstage and throw him out of the match. But Lee sends Joe crashing into the mat before he looks to fly off the top with a couple of double knees. Femi then catches him and puts him down, hits him with a power bomb on Joe, and gets the win. And still the champion, the North American champion, is Oba Femi. So what were your guys' thoughts on this match? We'll start with Baron.
Yeah, good match. Good triple threat. I'm not familiar with any of these guys.
I'm not either.
I wasn't.
I've heard of Joe Coffey. I've heard of him, but other than that, I have no idea.
Yeah, no, it was a good match. I enjoyed watching it. I do remember Wesley. He's been I think this is his first match in a while, if I'm not mistaken. But he was out in high flyer, really good, very fast. Okay, yeah.
And Wesley's been out for a while too.
That's not me trying to make a joke because we were just talking about Kevin Nash a second ago. I'm not that much of an asshole tonight.
I am.
Well, anytime we can poke fun at Kevin Nash on his expense, I'll let it go. I'll let it pass. That's okay with me.
Love you, Big Kev.
Love you, Big Kev. Absolutely. Thank you for your time in this wonderful business. Baron, your services and all your torn quads. Baron, continue, sir.
No, good match, good overall. I think West should probably won. Oba's definitely big as hell.
Oh, he's a big boy.
Yeah, I agree, Courtney. I think West should have won. But yeah, I'd give it like a good solid 2.75 out of 5. Match.
Oh wow, really?
My ratings are. I don't just give out 5s like I'm that other guy over there.
You don't get a 5. You don't get a 5. Wait,
you get a 5. You get a 5.
You're all getting 5.
So we just don't throw those out there, okay? It's a calculated rating.
So Baron, it's safe to say you are not the Lunas and getting 5 on everything, right?
Yeah, no.
Exactly. No. There you go. J-Bone, your thoughts, bro?
First off, in my professional podcasting opinion,
okay.
I do that over on TNI. That's probably a first tier. So you guys are probably like, excuse the fuck out of me.
Right. I feel like I'm in the
fucking guy over here.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the presence of the great one himself.
I know, I am here.
The professor
himself. Not you, Max.
No, I give this 4 stars. They told a great story. Freaking, Coffey being the only heel in the match in a sense. Just there to just fuck up moments, I'd be like, oh, this guy.
Yeah,
but Wesley, I feel it was expected. I didn't assume because J-Bo never assumes ever. Really, no, really, I don't. It felt like this was Wesley's story because he came back from injury, and so it felt like it was that kind of situation. Like he pins Coffey and that keeps Oba Femi looking good, or I don't know, they say stuff like that. But 4 stars, Oba Femi. I've watched him wrestle like a couple of times, but never. I wasn't really like paying attention. But this time I was paying attention because I'm like, number one, big fan of Wesley. Originally TNA, moved up, and he's doing great stuff right now. And but Oba Femi, my God, like I know Joe Coffey. I think he's from NXT UK, if I'm not mistaken. He's one of the bigger names as far as coming over from Europe. I don't know a lot about him, but I know he's a character. But I am absolutely a fan of Oba Femi. I mean, just when you first look at him, you're like, damn, he's big. But can he tear some shit up? Oh, let me tell you, he can tear some shit up. I am absolutely a fan of this guy now.
Yeah.
So good, tremendous match. Blew me away.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'd say? I'd give it about a 3.5 stars. Max. I know.
All right. First thing is, I got 2 things I want to point out before I give my rating. Courtney, you touched on something in the comments. I'm waiting to discuss that till we get to the backstage incident that took place in between the women's match and the main event. But you're touching on something that I think is coming. Secondly, Joe Coffey. When the hell did this dude turn into Karnov with hair? And if you're wondering what Karnov looks like, I sent a picture of Karnov to the Ramblers chat. If you want to take a look at that, picture of Karnov with hair, and not just on his head, but on his chest. And you'll see what I'm saying.
It's Sabu.
J-Bone, you can share that photo with us, please. If you could pull that photo up.
I'm working on. I literally just downloaded it because I knew that was coming. Hang
on. So Max, continue.
Oh shit.
So while he's pulling that up, I'm gonna give this match. It was a good match. I have to admit, it was a good match. I'm giving it 4 stars.
Okay. All right. While J-Bone's still working on that, tell us about the backstage incident.
All right. So later in the show, Wesley is backstage. Someone stops her to interview him. I didn't see who it was. And the next thing you see, Dallas comes up and lays him out. All 3 members of Dallas. So I got a message from Barb. And he waited. He told me to tell him when I see Wesley backstage before he messaged this, because he knew I was behind. He didn't want to spoil anything for me. So he points out that you had 3 people attack Wesley. Mm-hmm. Wesley is also potentially part of a 3-person group. Those other 2 would be part of the TNA deal, unfortunately. So we could potentially see the Rascals versus Gallus here soon.
Oh,
wow.
I love that idea. Hell yeah. Now, yeah, I mean, mildly controversial because Wentz was fired. So, but you'd think business sake and big picture wise, hell yeah, I'd love to see it. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I love the Rascals. I miss Wesley and TNA with these guys. But hey, that's the business, and I still love Wesley and totally support his journey. Good to see him back.
Yeah. You can pull up that. Do you have that picture ready of Karnov?
I got it right here, bro.
Let's go. Let's go.
Put some hair on that. You got Joe Coffey.
Yeah, you do. You really do.
Is it me, or can, like, in the back of your head hear the pterodactyl in the picture?
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
Can you hear it?
I'm
sorry.
I hear the I hear it all, man.
and right after the attack occurred, Trey Miguel tweeted out, "What the fuck?" So I think we have potential here.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely. And I'm so glad you saw that, because I was out of the room when that happened. So thank you for letting me know, because I probably would have been like,
yeah,
damn it! Now you spoiled it for me. Damn it! I'm just kidding.
This backstage incident, but all right, let's move on. And I know everybody is talking about this match. It's Roxanne Perez. She is the NXT Women's Champion versus the TNA Knockouts World Champion, the Juggernaut herself, Jordynne Grace. This is one of the highlights of the night for me, because this kind of set the tone on the TNA and NXT partnership, because man, there were a lot of run-ins on the TNA roster. So let's talk about the match. It started off with Grace sending Perez crashing into the mat. Perez then steps on Grace's foot and hits her with a strike before Perez looks to hit a boot on Grace. Grace then intercepts and Perez slaps her to escape. Grace hits a couple shoulder tackles on Perez and sliced bread is what this says, and kips up to hit a power bomb. And we were pointing this out during sometime in the match. I think it was when was it the hip attack on Grace in the corner when we noticed there was some blood coming from either Perez or Jordynne, because Jordynne, you could see the blood on her.
Yeah, Grace definitely was busted open. But I pointed out the thing on her leg. I'm like, how the hell did that happen? Because it looked like her earring, I guess, got stuck in her leg, and it was in there for half the match. Yeah,
but let's be honest, that's not what it looked like.
No,
that is not what it looked like. I sent a picture of what it looked like. You guys all know that that's not what it looked like at first.
It was really weird because I didn't see any shots taken that would have caused them to bleed like that. But man, somebody was just gushing some blood, and now we all know that it was Jordynne Grace. I guess I hope she didn't rip her ear.
She did.
Yeah, she would have to if that earring came off like that.
If that earring was stuck in her tights, her fishnets, absolutely. And what's crazy is for fans that have been following Jordynne so closely that that happened at a show recently for I believe it was for TNA. It's just like,
oh no shit! So it's happened before,
right? Yeah, within the last month. Yeah,
and was she wrestling anybody with fishnets?
Yes, that's the crazy part.
That's weird.
Yeah. So it's ironic as hell. Max, we were all in the chat. We were all in our group chat, and you had some expressions about wrestlers wearing fishnets.
Listen, I love the look of the fishnets on certain people. Not you, Jeff. Find something new. The problem is fishnets can be dangerous in the ring, much like capes are in The Incredibles. As we saw here tonight, the fishnet somehow caught on that earring and ripped it out, which caused an injury to Jordynne and a embedded earring in Roxanne Perez's leg. Listen, it looks good, but at the end of the day, it's dangerous. Do not wear fishnets when you're about to wrestle a match. They catch on everything.
Yeah. That's got to be. I think that needs to be addressed backstage. I think Shawn Michaels needs to say, you know what, we need to stop with the fishnets,
or maybe not wear earrings to the ring,
or maybe not wear earrings. Yeah, I mean that could be
throw that out there. But yeah, I thought this match was good, man. I thought it was really good. I am highly upset, however. I was hoping the landscape of wrestling changed a little bit, and we saw Grace win this match and take that over into TNA.
Yeah, that would have been really something. Let's fast forward through, because man, there were a lot of different spots. We saw a muscle buster, we saw a hurricanrana, and then Perez sends Grace crashing into the ring apron face first and hits with a top rope suicide on the outside. Perez gets Grace back in the ring, takes her down, then locks in a crossface. Perez hits a back elbow on Grace and sets up for the Pop Rocks. Grace blocks her and hits her with a glory bomb as Tatum Paxley appears ringside to take note of Perez's TNA Knockouts championship. Apparently she has an infatuation with gold. Paxley grabs Jordynne's belt and runs to the entrance, and Ash by Elegance appears on the ramp and grabs it. Ash and Paxley then argue over the title. Grace blasts both Paxley and Ash with her Knockouts championship on the outside. Grace gets back in the ring, hits a Death Valley driver on Perez, and Perez responds with Pop Rocks for the win. And you're a winner. Man, it was a really good match. Roxanne Perez retaining the women's NXT Championship. There was some, I mean, J-Bone, was there any kind of I thought there was some sort of controversy with this match outside of the earring rip. Did you hear about any controversy, or was that just me?
Well, the finish was. I don't know if it was the botch finish or what happened there, but that finish was very, very off.
Yeah,
I'm fine with the match. I think it was match of the night, honestly, and I love the main event. I love the main event. I'm a big fan of Ethan Page. Anyways, just the counters, the combos that these two ladies were doing in this match, Jordynne Grace and Roxanne Perez. I guess I haven't watched Roxanne Perez wrestle much lately, and I forgot why she deserves to be champ. She's phenomenal. I just haven't seen her in a while. But this match, it's like, yes, it obviously showcases a talent that is known by the NXT audience. But man, I hope people were paying attention to the future of this industry that was across the ring from her, Jordynne Grace. My God, this was I wasn't a huge fan of the interference, but this was minus the interference. I give this a 5-star match.
Yeah.
I was expecting the interference of some sort because there's no way that in reality, like in my mind, at least as a wrestling fan, Grace was losing to Perez straight up or without some type of distraction because just on paper it doesn't add up. But
was
that Dana? Dana, didn't Vic call her Dana on the
almost
on the booth there?
Yeah. But and Ash by Elegance.
Mm-hmm.
She's in TNA, and so Tatum Paxley is on NXT, and it's interesting that Ash by Elegance was actually practically a baby face in this situation, getting the TNA women's title out of her hands. It's like, oh, thanks for at least keeping it in company hands.
And let's talk about this real quick. Jordynne Grace, I love her. I think she's really just so fucking good in the ring, but her entrance music is very, very it's very similar to Scott Steiner with the sirens at the beginning of the entrance music, and I thought it was a nice homage to Steiner, if that's what she's trying to do. But J-Bone, I love the nickname that you called her, Thick Mama Pump.
Oh yeah, that's nothing. That's not new. I didn't make that up.
Okay,
I wish
good.
I could have. No, actually, no. I would have. Anyways.
Well, I said, well, God, I hope she can do math better than Steiner ever could. And I just imagine Steiner betting on this match. He says Perez has a 96% chance of winning, which makes Grace's chance 147% plus 24 divided by 2. So if the math adds up, that knocks Perez down to about negative 400% of winning this match against Thick Mama Pump. Holla if you hear me. Nobody? No?
I love it.
Can you dig it?
Max, I think you're frozen, bud.
Not exactly. I'll tell you what's going on in just a second. Can you hear me at least?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm looking something up because it's something that was said in the chat. I'll be right back to my camera.
I just said that, and I noticed I looked over at Max. It's just frozen.
Great throws, though. My God.
Yeah, very. All right. So, you gave Jesus Christ. You gave the match a 4-star, 5-star. What did you say?
Starfish. 5.
Yeah. Chocolate starfish and a hot dog flavored water. Baron.
Yeah.
I might give this a high rating of solid 4.25. I thought it was a really good match. I
thought you gave it a 5. You just gave it a 4.25.
I didn't give it no 5. I haven't given it a rating now. 4.25. No, I thought it was good. And maybe I really think Grace should have walked away with the title just to kind of, if they're going to do this, let's do it right. Let's get some switching around here. Let's not bring them in and get these TNA stars just kind of like, I don't want to say squashed out by NXT. Let's, have an even playing field here and move some titles around or something. Because if they're going to get a bunch of people from NXT just to lose, that's not fun for me.
Right. Yeah, I get that. All right, Max,
Listen, I agree. I agree with the sentiment that we should have had Jordynne win this, or maybe have Ethan win the main event, one of the two, and neither one of those things came true. However, this match was still damn good despite not having the outcome I was wanting. I'm giving it a 5. And no, this is not my match of the night. This is only my second, and there's only going to be 2 5-star matches on this card.
Okay. I'll give it, it was good besides the fucked up finish. I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. It was close. It was close, but that's because of the finish, which I know nobody was a fan of. All right, Max, you saw something in the chat you wanted to point out?
Yeah, somebody in the chat said something about CM Punk confronting Roxanne Perez after the match. I didn't find anything on it just yet in the news or anything like that, so I'm not sure what that was about. Everything I found in the news so far relating to Punk and Perez, he gave her advice about ignoring people on social media because it'll just bring her down, which actually is pretty smart for any celebrity. Just ignore the haters out there. Unless you're Vince McMahon, listen to what we're saying and go trot yourself off into obscurity, bitch.
Which, okay, all right, let's dive into that real quick. I was watching before NXT took air, I was watching the best of WWE on the network while it's still there, and I'm really, really, really surprised that they are still showing Vince McMahon on outdated WWE best of stuff. I felt really kind of uncomfortable watching that man and sitting ringside, because I think it was it was Roman Reigns, and I think it was Roman Reigns, John Cena, something like that, where he was sitting ringside because he was waiting to if Reigns or Cena lost, they'd get fired. I don't know, but it was just really awkward, and I really wish that they would just Benoit him at this point. Just remove him from. I know they removed him from the website, but remove.
That's a hell of an expression. You might want to use the TNA Matt Hardy delete.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Here's the thing. Benoit has not been removed from stuff on the network.
No, he's still on there.
Yeah, I fired something up and saw a Benoit match recently.
Yeah, I guess that's right.
But what they did in the new video game was they just blurred Vince out on anything that he was part of over the years that plays into the big story of the game.
I did not know that.
I guess that makes sense. It is what it is. I mean, that's just my thoughts, but yeah. Anyway, let's move on to the main event. For me, this was match of the night. For the NXT, Trick Williams versus All Ego Ethan Page, which I love Trick Williams' entrance. I love the fans say "whoop that trick." I love it. I love it. So the match starts off with Page wasting no time going after Williams. Page delivers some right hands to Williams, and he responds with some right hands of his own. Williams hits a body slam on Page, delivers some forearms to him in a cutter. Williams then looks to hit a kick on Page, but Page low bridges Williams out of the ring and sends him crashing into the ring steps, shoulder first. Page clears the announce desk, delivers some right hands on Williams because we're really starting to amp up this match. Page then delivers some stomps on him in the corner. Williams responds with a jawbreaker on Paige using the top rope, and Paige then hits a hanging backbreaker on Williams and goes for the pin. Williams kicks out. Paige hits a back suplex on Williams, goes for another pin. Williams kicks out Paige, and I mean, it was just a very muscly back and forth strength match. I really enjoyed this match. I think I enjoyed it the most when they both pretty much like I guess it was Paige that power slammed Williams through the announce desk, knocking Booker T's commentary off air, which thank God.
And I think even the fans were chanting thank you to the wrestlers for doing that.
I think so too. I
actually, for the first time in God knows how long, I've actually appreciated Booker T. What the hell?
Yeah, but Book was kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. He cracked me up a few times on the booth.
Yeah,
he wasn't boring. He wasn't boring.
I don't know what it is about Booker T, but I cannot get sold on Booker. I don't know.
I've tried. When I told you guys in the chat we were discussing King of the Ring, I totally shut down on Booker because of all hail King Booker. All hail King Booker over and over. Oh my God, I wanted it to stop.
I was not even sold on Booker in WCW when he was with Stevie Ray and Harlem Heat. There's just something about him that I just did not like. I don't know.
My bro.
Some of the best Booker stories were Booker running from Boogeyman. That was hilarious.
Oh God.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. It was kind of funny though, honestly. So overall, this match was just really, really good. Your highlights of the match, and we'll start with J-Bone. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And there it is.
I knew somebody was going to say something, but J-Bone, what were your thoughts on this match, man? What was the highlight of it for you personally?
Just seeing Ethan get this shot, and you could tell during the match, just like whether it was legit Ethan Page that fired up in this match or something, because man, he looked like he had the biggest fucking chip on his shoulder because of everything that happened in AEW and how he was booked and treated and whatever. I was happy he was there, but yeah, they didn't do anything with him. So for him to like bust in the door, which I felt like was classic. I know some people don't like that. Dude, back in the day, if someone shows up and attacks Hogan, who is this? Oh, he's brand new. It's like, come on. It's classic old school. So
yeah.
Ethan Page just on fire in this match. It made me even a bigger fan of Trick Williams. Yeah, I give this 4 3/4.
Okay.
4 3/4.
Wow. I enjoyed this match too. The first time I've seen Trick Williams wrestle, not the first I've seen Ethan Page, but I really hope that they do push Ethan and they kind of just shove it up AEW's ass and say, look what we can do. We have story writers that we actually utilize. Anyway, I think that this was I like this match. I hope, honestly, I kind of hope Ethan Page gets in a faction. I think that he would be a really strong heel faction. I think he would lead one.
Well, there's just a guy that's holding the title on the main roster that it probably would fit in really well with, because I'm pretty sure they were tag team partners for a while.
Oh, and the name of that guy is
Cody Rhodes.
Oh, if he goes to the main roster on
so here's the question though: Is he actually signed to NXT, Ethan Page, or is this kind of like a
it's
official that he's signed with NXT?
Yeah.
Okay. He's in the WWE.
Yeah. So I was a fan of this match. I thought it was match of the night. I'd give it probably 4.999 stars or 4.99. Almost a 5-star match. Just can't hear yet. It was a really fucking good match. Really good match. Just
4.9 infinity.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's the Steiner math working for me.
4.99999.
Yes, Baron.
I thought this match was solid. Trick Williams is definitely someone I see doing well in the main roster, especially with this slogan he has. The crowd seems like they're behind it.
That trick.
Yeah, Whip That Trick is pretty catchy. I think that would do pretty damn good on the main roster. And I've always liked Ethan Page. I've watched him plenty of times. So, yeah, I'd give this 4.5. 4.5 out of 5.
Okay.
I don't see Ethan Page being on NXT very long, though. I think this is also why they slipped him into a main event match, his first match with the NXT, because I don't think he's going to be there long. I think I see him on the main roster being with someone else. But yeah, good match.
Yeah, I enjoy those chants, like the Whoop That Trick and Whose House, Swerve's House. I like those chants that involve the crowd. Max, your thoughts on Ethan Page and Trick Williams?
This was a solid match. This was great. Not my match of the night. I figure after we give all our ratings, the rest of us can give our match of the night since we haven't yet. And there's one other thing I think we should do. We discussed it over the last couple of weeks, and we haven't had a chance to implement it. I think tonight should be the first time we do that. I will come back to that in a moment. Let me give you my rating on this match. I'm giving this a 4.5. This is a solid match, not my match of the night. One of my 5-star matches is my match of the night, but we'll talk about that in just a minute.
Okay. Pay-per-view wise, if we were to rate this out of 10 stars, what would we rate this PLE? We'll start with J-Bone. Out of every match that we saw tonight, what would you rate this PLE? 10 out of 10 stars.
I would give it a 9.
Okay.
And the only thing that's keeping it from a 10 is how I say, well, that's armchair booking. Yeah, well, that's what we're talking about, because we're friends and we talk about shit. It's just, yeah.
Okay. So 9. Got it. I think it was a strong 9.5 for me. It was really good. I love this developmental program that they have, and I really see this going far. I am so happy Shawn Michaels is part of this brand, and Triple H trusts him to head front it. Just manage it. So I will give this. Go ahead. Yeah.
It's a big responsibility. Trips, if you remember, for years after he retired, Trips was trying like hell to get him to come back. Just come to the company. You don't have to wrestle. We'll give you a job. Just to help the kids. Trips wanted that forever, and I remember. And then finally, Trips took over NXT years ago, and now the fact that he's got one of his closest cohorts in the wrestling world, yeah.
Who would have thought DX would be running the WWE? Exactly, Courtney.
Crazy.
Baron, out of 10 stars, what would you rate this PLE?
I'm going to give it a nice little 8.5 out of 10, just because I want to. I think just like J-Bone could have given it a full 10, he gave it a 9. TNA is 2, has lost 2 matches. NXT has one too. So I think he's a little sad over that one. But no, I think Shawn Michaels, there's nobody better at least in my mind, Shawn Michaels is my favorite wrestler of all time. But I don't think there's anybody better to build new stars. One of the best wrestlers in the ring, charismatic, one of the best, on the mic during a period of time. So, yeah, dude, he's killing it, man.
He knows how to get over.
NXT.
Oh, yeah.
Shucky ducky.
No. We're not shucky duckying anything on here. No. Shut up. Shawn Michaels knows how to get over with the crowd, and he knows that he can help these kids, help them get over with the crowd too. I think Trick Williams is a very, very good sign of how to get over with the crowd. I think Shawn might have worked with him and took what he said with everything that he had. So Max Magus, out of 10 stars, what would you give this PLE?
I was going to give it an 8.75, but Booker T, forgetting he was in a tag team, got it that extra 0.25, and I'm giving it a 9. And since we have what?
It said Steiner math, y'all.
Yeah. So I'm giving this a 9. And since we have J-Bone with a 9, and we have Dizzy with a 9, and Max with a 9, this seems like the right time to introduce a segment that we have been talking about doing, and it's Baron's 999 moment. What do you got, Baron?
Oh yeah.
What?
What is your 999 moment of the night?
Moment of the night, 999 moment of the night. You know what? I was caught up throughout the entire show with the earring. I'm gonna be honest with you. That caught me more than anything. The earring stuck in Perez's leg. I was so fucking I was mesmerized what was going on with that leg. I'm like, what the hell is it? And then finally, J-Bo was like, that's earring. This has happened twice now. So I guess this is a permanent staple.
I think we need to. I think every PLE review we need to implement that. We need to implement Baron's 999 moment. I agree, and we need to make an intro for it, and we need to make it all pretty. So I think we need to do, Baron, we'll get together and we'll record some stuff. But I just need you to go 999 real quick.
Yeah, oh yeah.
999. But that's a great idea. Yeah, I would say that this is definitely this is the first NXT match or the first NXT PLE that I've watched in a very, very long time. And it was really cool to see Gail Kim there supporting the Knockouts, and it was a big night for the company. I think it was a big night for them and Endeavor as a whole with UFC, and just to kind of, I guess, impress folks at UFC.
I'm really curious, not to cut you off, but to see what TNA ratings will be after this.
I want to.
I don't care about ratings. It doesn't that's not who really cares. But I'm very curious: did this boost TNA, or did we get some the TNA loyalists over to NXT? I'm just curious to see how that plays out.
I think that it would be really good for TNA to have NXT stars come over there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just don't see that happening though. I feel like they're too.
I think it could happen. I wouldn't put it past Shawn Michaels or the folks at Anthem to say, yeah, let's have somebody run in from NXT into TNA. J-Bone, you are the most well-versed person with TNA. Do you see NXT possibly doing an invasion of TNA?
This coming, I believe it's Friday, Chicago, against all odds.
Is that a PLE?
Yeah, and Jordynne Grace. It's like a smaller one. It's not one of the big four, But yeah, it's on the TNA app. Go sign up now. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, cheap.
Well, I'm curious. I'm going to tune in just because I'm curious to see if anybody from NXT. So they got me. So good job.
Yeah, I'm curious too to see if anybody from NXT will do a run in. That's definitely on my.
You got Jordynne Grace's. She's got an open challenge. You got
she's got an open challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes it even more interesting then.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Right. It's like fill in a blank. Roxanne Perez, Tatum Paxley, or
Ash by Elegance.
Thank you. Ash by Elegance. Or do all three show up and then
that's what I'm thinking.
Santina Morella says, "You summon a gun. What am I gonna do?"
So let's talk about what Terrence said in the chat real quick. I don't mean to cut you off, Max, but let's just talk about this real quick. He says that the effed up finish won't help TNA ratings. I don't think that's a problem. I don't think that's a factor. We've all had. I mean, there have been tons of messed up finishes in this sport that has never gone against TV ratings or TNA ratings or any kind of rating for that matter. So I don't think. Just because it was a weird ending to a match or maybe a botched ending to a match, I don't think that's going to affect the TNA ratings going forward. But I just wanted to point that out. Max, I'm sorry to cut you off, brother.
No, he's not.
No, I'm not.
I mean, like to me though, like to go back to it real quick, not to like cut Max off, even though I really was trying to cut Max off. But it was all out of love. It was all out of love.
Feel the love, Max.
I don't feel like it was a fucked up finish anyways. I feel like it was just very hard to catch what happened there. And once they played the replay, it was more obvious what happened. But yeah, good show.
It was a very good show. Yeah. And
I promise. I really do. I love you more than everybody else.
What?
No, wait, never mind. I can't.
Baron.
I'm just trying to like
make up
socks. He looks sad.
Everybody knows. Listen, everybody knows Baron's my favorite. I'm gonna forgive him anything. You two assholes, on the other hand. Especially since I don't even remember what I was about to say. So screw you both.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Max, we'll have to give you like your own segment. We'll just have to come up with something. But
I do want to say this. We highlighted Courtney's comment when she said it about how NXT or WWE is now being run by DX. This is what we dreamed of during the Attitude Era. Okay, as pro wrestling fans watching the Attitude Era, watching DX with their shenanigans, we wanted this to happen.
Yeah.
And Courtney, I love you. Thank you.
That's a good point. Brandon, the Ruiner. Thank you for joining us tonight. He says WWE and TNA going to work together because AEW and New Japan doing the same thing, and it's about copying each other.
If WWE copies, WWE is not. Like, what does AEW have to copy? I'm gonna be honest.
Listen.
I'm a harsh critic on AEW, especially now. I don't feel like there's anything on that show noteworthy to take from.
Listen, I have said this on the show before. I will say this again. I am sick of a dividing line between wrestling fans. WWE is doing amazing things. TNA is now upping their game. J-Bone and I have butted heads about our thoughts on TNA over the years. And I've always said that I love the workers. I just didn't like the booking. I don't love AEW, the whole power structure at AEW. But if anybody is copying anybody, AEW is copying WWE storylines. You can see it in some of the things that Tony Khan has been saying lately about the WWE. Hello, Monday Night Wars. He's trying to reinvigorate that because he's a fantasy booker. He is taking the AJ story and putting it to Brian Danielson. Listen, I love the workers in AEW, and I want to see them do well, but let's not have a dividing line, not even here on this show, unless we're talking about Tony Khan. Then we can make fun of Khan himself all we want.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're in two different physical locations, Zach, so we can't physically headbutt, but we kind of had a war of words on a couple of episodes a couple years ago before we stopped doing the other Ramblers.
What episode was that? I need to find that one. I don't remember that at all.
Disney pulled all the old episodes down, or we could go back and pull it up. But J-Bone was defending TNA, and I was talking about how badly I viewed the people in power over there that were booking.
I think that was Dixie was still kind of in charge, right?
That was back when Dixie was still in charge. I said I had a lot of respect for the workers, but their booking needed work. The people in charge needed to learn what they were doing. I say the same thing about Tony Khan every day. I love the people on his roster. He has an amazing roster of talent. He is not one of those. He is not amazing. He's not talented, and the coke makes him think he's doing things better than he is.
Yeah. I think as far as the whole copying each other goes, we've seen this. I mean, we saw it with the Monday Night Wars. We saw that. I mean, WWF was copying WCW and vice versa. They were both, but the thing is that they were both doing groundbreaking things. I think that AEW has an opportunity to do some groundbreaking stuff. They're just too caught up in the like Max said, the Attitude Era, the Monday Night Wars, resparking that, which you can't respark. I'm sorry. There's no possibility of ever resparking another Monday Night Wars, not with the mind that you had with Vince McMahon, and certainly not with the mind that you have with Eric Bischoff. You don't even have the characters to begin to start that. Well,
the biggest thing is we don't want them to. We want them to do their own thing.
Do your own thing.
And that's the problem I have with them, and I had the problem with many wrestling companies throughout the years, is they always want to be WWE instead of just, carving their own path.
Every company, I feel, has tried to be a carbon copy of World Wrestling Entertainment. And it's not that you can't do it, but you can't do it because WWE is a monster. The monster that Vince McMahon created by sucking up all the other promotions, and the monster that Vince McMahon created when he finally killed Ted Turner in WCW. And you just can't do it. And especially with the Monday Night Wars, because if you think about it, Vince McMahon was losing those Monday Night Wars. He was losing the war to Eric Bischoff. Eric was kicking his ass on the ratings because they had the NWO. They had that before we ever saw the Attitude Era start. So it was a big power play. It was a big power play between WCW and WWF, and WWF actually scrambling, thinking, "Oh God, what are we gonna do?" Oh, I know. Let's move away from the fucking gobbledygooker and start showing some TNA, and that's exactly what they did, and that's what helped them win the Monday Night Wars, because Vince McMahon is a pervert, and we all know how big a pervert Vince McMahon is. So.
No, hold on. What finally won the Monday Night Wars for WWE was when Bischoff said, "So tonight, the main event on Raw is Mankind beating The Rock."
That did not help WCW at all. At all. Right. I will totally agree with you on that. At all.
Listen, you can't go and announce that as the main event and then turn around and have your main event just be a finger poke of doom to end the match. That was the dumbest thing WCW did during the whole Monday Night Wars.
That's right.
And if you really want to, and I'm really trying to dive deep into WCW and the documentary "Who Killed WCW" on Vice TV. If you've not watched it yet, please go watch that. It's only on episode 1. It's only episode 1. I think it's just a mini series, but it is so so damn good because everybody is pointing the finger at fucking everybody. Well, it was Eric Bischoff. Well, it was this guy. Well, it was Hogan. And well, it was the finger poke of doom.
It was Russo.
It was. Oh my God! There's so many people that said Russo killed it. I totally agree. He did not help it. He didn't help it at all. But go watch it and make your own assumptions, and we'll come back and talk about it. Maybe we'll have to do a Who Killed WCW show on our on here.
Every ego that had some sort of power was involved in the death of WCW. That includes pretty much Hogan definitely.
Yeah, Hogan was the big one because he had that contract. So that is yes.
You had Nash and Hall, all these people that were part of, and I love Nash and Hall, so don't take this the wrong way, but all of these people had power over creative. And anybody that was part of NWO on the higher ranks of NWO, they had power on creative, and really putting them in charge of their own booking, that's a big part of what killed WCW.
Yeah.
Those egos went out there and said, well, this is our show and this is what we want to do.
Yeah. But that can be discussed on another podcast or another episode anyway. It is really, really late, and I know the majority of us have jobs to do tomorrow. So we are going to get out of here. We hope you enjoyed NXT Battleground Las Vegas review, and we will do it again. We will try to get back on track next Saturday at around 1 o'clock Central Standard. Make sure you hit the bell icon.
That's not going to work.
Yeah, the Clash. It clashes next weekend, right?
Oh, the Clash. Yeah, the Clash.
Yeah, I think that's Saturday.
Yeah,
let's see what time it is.
So
definitely go live after if everybody
we can do a review on Friday, maybe
Saturday afternoon. Friday, okay.
On Friday, yeah. And
wait, hold on.
No,
I believe Friday is my next record date for Random Shots.
Okay,
yeah.
so.
And that Friday is also TNA's Against All Odds in Chicago. So
okay, so we'll probably come back on and do just a review then for Clash of the Castle, which is going to be a really good ability.
Saturday night, if it works out, kind of like tonight, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Only it's not Sunday. Wait.
Yeah, it's Sunday.
It is Sunday.
It's Monday now.
No.
No. In the only time zone that matters is still Sunday night.
You can't. You've only been there how many days? 4.
That doesn't matter. It's the time zone I'm in. That makes it the only time zone that matters.
Hey. Oh my. All right. Okay, that is going to wrap up the show. Please hit the bell icon, and we will definitely let you know when we go live. Hit the bell.
We didn't say our match of the night.
Oh, we'll get it in next week.
We'll get it next week, Max. I'm fucking tired. So please hit the bell icon and hit the subscribe. Tell your friends about us. Baron, how can they follow you on social media?
Right here, Scumbag Jordan with 3 of them.
There you go. With 3 N's. If you want to hear Max's match of the night, you can definitely hit him up on social media
For the account for this show, you're going to find me at Max Magus. For Random Shots, you'll find that at Our Shots Podcast. And listen, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Dizzy always forgets that part. And enjoy some wrestling. Enjoy it.
Yeah, because
it is.
Every fucking time we get on here. Yeah, I don't say that.
Come on, Diz.
Yeah, I know. Get with the program. God. J-Bone, how can they follow you, sir?
You can follow me over on the Twitter box at JBone5150. That's JAYBONE 5150. You can also follow me over on that other little podcast, Total Nonstop Impact.
Yeah.
And you can follow our show on Facebook, Ramblers Unleashed. Find us on X at the Ramblers Pod. Yes, Max, I said our show because it is our show.
I said this show, I was like, this show?
This show right here. the show.
That's awesome.
I know, right? And definitely please tell your friends about us. Hit the subscribe, hit the bell icon to know when we go live next. And we are going to get off here. So until next time, please, as Max just said, enjoy professional wrestling. Go out and support it no matter what it is. Thank you for tuning in, and we will talk to you soon.
Thanks for tuning in to Ramblers Unleashed. Follow the show on social media, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and click the bell icon for notifications of upcoming episodes.